You have free will in this life. We all have free will in this life. So we have to stop allowing people to dictate our paths and allowing people to deter us from the things that we're really trying to do or that we actually want to do in this lifetime and just do them. Right? There's nothing holding you back besides you. Whatever you want to do, accomplish, have, enjoy, experience, etc., you are capable and you are worthy of experiencing that. Now, just whether or not you're going to put yourself in the place or the energy or the with the people to experience those type of things. You're never in a box. You can switch paths if you truly wanted to at any given moment. You can do something different at any given moment. You can try something. You can stop doing something. It does, like, you can literally do anything on this planet at any given moment. It's just whether or not you're at the frequency to believe that's something that you can do and then follow through by actually doing it. You know, I saw this clip and it was like raising your frequency. I believe it was from 19 Keys and ASAP Ferg, where it was like raising your frequency isn't just this, just a saying or something like that. It is a real thing. What you do on your day-to-day basis, your decision making and everything else comes down to the frequency you're sitting at. And what do I mean by frequency? That's the thoughts that you're allowing to go in and out of your headspace and which ones you're accepting or feeding into, right? Because you can't stop every thought. We don't know where thoughts come from, but the ones that you feed, the ones that you nurture, that's going to dictate your frequency, right? If you're having those optimistic thoughts come through your head, if you're letting that high energy, that your vision, what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to receive, just the energetic frequency of love just hit you and you're operating through that and you're accepting those thoughts, your body will naturally fall into suit with that. So your decision making is going to switch. You see, you're going to start getting hit with decisions in real time. It's not this, oh, I made a switch in my life, now I got to wait 2 weeks for it to happen. And no, 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 no. The moment you make the switch, something's going to happen in your life which is going to test whether or not you just accepted the switch. It's like you get tested in real time without knowing you're getting tested, right? You can say, I I'm sitting at a high frequency. I'm very optimistic and everything like that. And God will put a a choice in front of you. Do you want to go do this or you want to go do that? Are you going to do this or that? Which one do you choose? How are you going to react? Who are you going to talk to? What are you not going to do? Right? And depending on how you answer that question and what you do, that's what your actual frequency is. It's not, your frequency isn't what you project or you want it to be. Your frequency is what it is, right? And the only way that you're going to be falling into natural suit to where that frequency is a reality and you're operating through that energy is if you're controlling your mind, your thoughts. Like what I've been saying this whole time, if you're controlling the thoughts that's coming in and out of your brain and you're in other words, exiting out the ones that serve you no benefit, your frequency will raise. I'm not telling you that they don't exist. I'm not telling you you're not going to have messed up thoughts, because we all do. We all have some wicked thoughts. Wish is whether or not you're going to acknowledge it. And the ones who acknowledge it are usually the weirdos, right? Because they don't have a level of discernment to acknowledge that is a terrible seed. Sometimes we don't know where thoughts come from. It could be an environment. It could be something we saw in a movie. It could be, I really don't know. You heard somebody walking past you on the street. You really don't know where your thoughts are originating from. It can be your ancestors. It could be other spirits trying to, like, you really don't know. But the ones that make you feel good, the ones that really raise you, and when your frequency is raised, my brother, you could feel it. It's not like this, oh, I don't know if I'm operating from a high frequency or not. You feel it. Yeah, it's like an energetic thing. Like you can go from feeling absolutely drained, depressed, emptied, everything, and in a split second get all of your energy back. You want to know why? Because you weren't lacking the energy, you weren't lacking the motivation, you weren't lacking anything in the first place. You just weren't at the frequency to use it. And that's what a lot of us have, right? A lot of us have so much energy, so much thought, so much creativity, so much mind power. Y'all could do whatever you want to, but you're not at the frequency to use it because you're allowing certain thoughts to dominate your headspace, and it's exiting out certain parts of you before you even get a chance to get into it. The moment you start raising your frequency and you live your life through the good. I'm not saying, like, by no means am I telling you that the bad doesn't happen and the negative isn't there. It's always going to be there. I'm talking about your focus. Focus is a very, very, very powerful thing. The one who focuses usually has a certain level, it's like a certain level of protection over that, right? I'm not saying nothing evil, nothing bad can happen, but God will protect the ones who are focused on Him, focused on the good. They can, what is that saying? Walk through the valley of shadow of death, and no weapon against me shall prosper. All of that, yeah, yeah, that's real. When you get into that level of focus, my buddy, the things that you do, say, who you talk to, how you interact, you know, how you're doing the things that you're doing, everything shifts, right? If you find yourself feeling very depressed, very lazy, very just out of the blue, whatever the case may be, figure out what that thing is that raises your frequency. For me, creativity. I'll go pick up my camera. I'll go start taking pictures. Or I'll get on here. I'll start talking to y'all. Or, hey, I'll go, hey, it is what it is, right? I have to figure out what I can do that will pull me up. Do I need to go drive to a view? Do I need to go talk to some friends? What do I need to do? Do I need to go play Call of Duty? Do I need to just unwind and just play the game? What is it that's going to allow me to calm down? And by me calming down in a way, it brings that clarity back, it brings that vision back, and you can operate a lot more efficiently in whatever you're trying to do. And also, because music is very important, and you guys know I'm very spiritual, and music is very spiritual, and I love music, right? Music is in me at this point. When you, I feel like this could be for other people too. You guys can let me know, but music can raise your frequency in a snap, in a heartbeat. What you're listening to will shape your thought, your train of thinking, right? When I could play a song and just the melody, just the song, just the beat, just the feeling underneath that song makes me start thinking of different things, right? It makes me start feeling a certain way. It makes me start envisioning myself in certain places doing certain things. And the moment I get that energy where I can see it, I can feel it, at that exact moment, my decision making shifts. I can be so depressed, so like laid out, just so like, oh, I'm out of it. I'll hear a song starts playing in the background, and all of a sudden I'm just sitting straight up. And then next thing you know, I'm inside a light room. I'm editing a picture. I'm posting something. I'm texting somebody. I'm DMing something. Something. Somebody's calling me. Some, like, literally, things will start flowing straight to me the moment I raise my frequency. But if I was sitting there in the lower vibrational frequencies, aka being sad, worried, anxiety, all that other type of stuff, right? I was going to continue to operate and make actions based upon that headspace. I really want you guys to understand that the actions and decisions you make on a everyday basis is solely correlated to your headspace, your mental health, your train of thinking, your spiritual alignment. If you're messed up here, you're gonna start messing up out here. It is inevitable. I swear to God. You can test it if you want to, but I'm trying to tell you, don't, right? When you take time to actually focus your mental, focus your alignment, focus your vision, focus your emotions and everything else, how you operate, what you do, what you choose to do, is all going to take a really big shift. That's kind of why they say ignorance is a bliss. You don't know what you don't know. This would correlate for the people who's in entrepreneurship. You may think that you're at a stagnancy. You may think that you can't get to that next level. You can't break through, whatever the case may be. But somebody can look dead at you and tell you the exact thing that you need to do or stop doing that would make you get exactly what you want. And it can be something so simple as, hey, take this word out of your website, or hey, use his lens, or whatever the case. I really don't know. That, let alone that piece of information, was sitting at a frequency. Once you were at a level to receive that information and that frequency, in other words, you were vibing at that frequency, everything changed. But if you're blocking yourself off energetically from growth, from abundance, from, love and all these other characteristics, God knows you probably wouldn't even have talked to the person who was able to tell you the thing that you needed. You would have went the other way. That's what I'm saying. Frequency will really dictate everything. If you were in a spirit of growth, optimism, openness, receiving, truly seeing what God has in store for you, you were ready to talk to that person who was going to tell you exactly what you needed, help you, love you, whatever the case may be. But if you were over there in your head, all anxious, worried, doubting yourself, you would have walked past the person. You would have walked past the opportunity. You would have closed the door just off your frequency, just off your vibration. Y'all have to realize, people, that thing is real, right? You do what you want. In other words, and I'm not telling you everything's going to be easy, piece of cake, simple as pie. You're going to get everything handed to you. God will hand it to you, but you have to have that level of clarity within yourself to know I can do whatever I want. So if I want to do this, I'm going to do this. And somewhere along the path, God is either going to show me why I was right or why I was wrong and I need to pivot. But at the end of the day, I still did what I wanted to do. You have free will. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you can do what you want to do in this lifetime. It just comes down to whether or not you're controlling your mind. You're controlling the way that you think. You're controlling your emotional levels, your emotional intelligence, and your spiritual alignment is rooted in the things that's true to you. If you try rooting yourself in something that's not true to you, you're going to continue running into brick walls, trauma, just BS. In other words, root yourself in something that feels good to say you rooted yourself in, and only you know what you can honestly say with integrity and morals. I rooted myself in something that I'm proud in, and if you can say that, my buddy, you won. Figure out what that is and do that. I love y'all.